John Edwards for Griffins TV alongside head basketball coach Kevin Walsh. And Coach, thanks for joining us early this morning and on a non-game day for you, which is kind of surprising where we are in the season.
Yeah, we're trying to get back into the swing of things. We had a brief shutdown last week, so it was good to get back out on the court and play on Tuesday night, and then we gear up for SLU High on Friday.
Impressive win over Sullivan the other night. Got off to a hot start, outscoring Sullivan in that first quarter, 29-7. And it seemed like that first quarter, I was like, "Holy cow! Could we put up 100 tonight?" The way the first quarter went.
Yeah, we definitely came out. We shot it really well. Brandon Hebrank made 4 threes. Luke Walsh made 4 threes in the first quarter. So those two guys combining for 8 threes is a pretty good start. And we had good flow offensively in the first quarter. We kind of had good flow all night. We didn't make as many shots, which when you shoot a lot of threes, sometimes you're gonna dry up a little bit.
Talking about 3-pointers, school record broken not even halfway through the season. A record that stood for 10 years. And is there an end to where that number could go?
Right now we feel like we can put guys out on the floor that can space the floor, and we've got guys that can shoot it, and Adam Sissel and Brandon Hebrank, Luke Walsh, Teddy Oakes has shot it really well for us, and it's been kind of exciting. Kel Battle's been getting in on the fun a little bit. I think he's made 7 threes in his last 4 games, and that just adds one more dimension because now folks got to try to step out and guard him too. So I don't know necessarily where we can get to. I do know that it's been fun watching the kids buy into what we ask them to do. We had some success with it early, which helped with that buy-in. And, we made a decision as coaches to play this particular style, and the kids have bought in. And when you have success, that becomes real rewarding.
How hard is it for you as a coach having to change that style away from traditional, try to get the ball into the inside post and along those lines? And that's kind of what you've had over the last few years with big men and Bobby Braun and his brother Colin and over the years.
Well, I think part of coaching is, trying to figure out how to put your team in the best position to be successful. And, the great thing nowadays is that we had a summer to kind of play around with what we were trying to do. And really, we didn't even commit to doing this until the fall. We played traditional, secondary break type stuff, and not necessarily, getting up and trying to get a shot off if we have a clean look in the first 7 or 8 seconds, but having the summertime to figure out, okay, we got guys that share it well. We got guys that shoot it well. For us to be competitive, we're not going to play inside out. We don't have that. So let's see if we can ramp up the tempo. And it's, as a coach, I think that's what you want to do. I'm not wed to a system. I'm wed to the idea of trying to find the best way to help our team be successful.
Take on SLU High Friday night, paint and pink game. Always a fun time here at Vianney, especially for a good cause. And SLU High coming off a loss last night to DeSmet.
Yeah, SLU High was in a little bit of a shutdown mode as well. That was their first game since December 30th. And, to go out to DeSmet and battle them. I know it ended up 15, but it was a 1-possession game with just a couple minutes left in the third quarter. They're a very formidable opponent. Feels like we've played them for the paint and pink game pretty consistently. I think it's one of the Friday nights in January. Typically we play SLU High, so they've been our opponent for that. So we know that they are very good. They have a very experienced team. They start 3 seniors, 2 juniors. Both juniors have been varsity players since they were freshmen, and all 3 seniors have been varsity players since they were freshmen. So they have a ton of experience. Nick Kramer going to St. Louis U next year is a shot maker, really good player. Zach Ortworth's a Division I football recruit. Their 2 guards are outstanding. The quarterback of their football team is their 5th starter, and he might oftentimes be overlooked, but if you're a quarterback in the MCC, you're a heck of an athlete, a heck of a competitor, and Luke Johnson is those things for sure.
Coming back from the shutdown, you guys had a lengthened period of time off, and with the number of players that you have on your roster, you've had some alum come in and practice with the team and talk about how they've come back and come in with some contribution to the team and help them with some maturation here.
Yeah, so really, one guy that's really helped us has been our assistant coach, Dominic Miller, who graduated 10 years ago. So Dom's 28. He thinks he's he thinks he's younger than that, but we get him in there and let him run around with our guys. And Zach Coletta, when he's been on break from school, has come in, and even from just talking to the guys about how to approach practice, how to approach games, watching how those older guys go through shooting, if they're shooting on the side. It does help just to have those guys who understand what it's like to be in the grind of a season, to talk to the guys and to share with them their ideas and insights.
Getting a look at our district. We're in
It's a long look. You have to take a long look.
It's a 9-team district.
Yeah.
I looked at that the other day and I said, wow, that's probably one of the biggest districts throughout the state. Most of these teams we get a chance to see. Lutheran South and St. Mary's we've seen Melville, we've seen Lindbergh. The one team we haven't seen is Webster Groves, and pretty good basketball team beat DeSmet at Coaches versus Cancer, lost the other night. Talk about Webster, a team that you potentially could see down the road.
Yeah, it's interesting. Michigan made the decision to, instead of having 16 districts, they shifted to 8 districts. So you go from, if you win your district, you're automatically into the state quarterfinals. They took that sectional round out of the state tournament. So when you used to have 4 or 5 team districts, now you have 8 or 9 team districts. And we're kind of on the 44 quarter. A team that you didn't mention who's really playing good basketball right now is Borgia. They beat Cardinal Ritter last week. They beat Pattonville yesterday. 2 pretty highly regarded teams with some Division I talent. But Webster right now, to me, is certainly the top team in the district. I had a chance to watch them a couple times at Coaches versus Cancer, saw them beat DeSmet. And then they're really good. Webster historically is a team that just is very tough. They play super hard. Got a really good guard in Matt Enright. They've got a good big guy in Isaiah Purvey. They've got two really good shooters, Johnny Fuentes and Matthew Chartron. So they are the total package. Now, if they don't shoot it well, or if their defensive rotations are a little off, I don't know if if they're a team that can never be beaten, as Francis Howell beat them the other night. But they're very well coached. They're a very good team. It will be a challenging district all the way through.
As we get through we're like at the midway point of the season, I would say through tomorrow, you go out, you play 5 road games in a row, and you really have been limited to home games so far this year. Is the team getting more comfortable as they play on the road?
John, we have announcements going on. I just want to make sure you can hear me behind me. Can you hear me? Or
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that is a maturation process. The process of going on the road and being in a different locker room and not kind of being in your routine is a challenge for young guys, especially. So I think playing in a couple tournaments on the road, even though we weren't maybe the true road team, that has helped us with that. And then I think also having the opportunity to get out here on the road in January and February, that'll help us as we get into districts and beyond. So,
Coach, I always appreciate a few minutes. Before I let you go, though, talk about tomorrow night, Painted Pink night. Where proceeds are going. I know sweatshirts were a hot item this week. I had to email you and text you for a few myself. Talk about what's going on Friday night.
So Friday night's our annual Painted Pink game. It's our 15th year of doing this. It started as a way to try to get moms more involved and around our program. And it's just taken off, and it's kind of, in a lot of ways, almost become like a winter homecoming in a lot of ways. A lot of folks come back for it. A lot of people want to buy our sweatshirts. We have pink hoodies this year, and those were flying off the shelves all week long. We partner with Hope Lodge. Hope Lodge is a residential facility for people who come to St. Louis to get cancer treatment. It's kind of a Ronald McDonald House sponsored by the American Cancer Society. So we provide meals there and have donated a significant amount of money over the last several years to the Hope Lodge. It's a great place, and it's a small thing we can do to try to help those who are battling cancer. And as you know, John, we've really had some major struggles in our own school community, you know, from Kerry Mitchell to the late John Moore, Bob Prost. We've had several students who have had their own battles with cancer. So it's something that's really important to me and important to our program.
Well, Coach, I always appreciate the work that you do, especially for the causes of the area and the fact that your team contributes and they put as much time and effort into it as you do. Best of luck tomorrow night against St. Louis University High, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, John. Have a great one. Go Griffins.